Hey y'all, how's it going? It is I, Nephew, um, here with, the usual thing. Oh, I'm moving around and I got the sound and I got it all down. Did I make you think of Pound Town? Anyway, disclaimer: this blog contains satirical content intended for comedic and entertainment purposes only. The views and opinions expressed herein, whether in text, images, or other media, are meant to be humorous and do not necessarily represent the views of the author. Readers, viewers, are advised to take all content with a grain of salt and understand that it is not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything. Readers, viewers are encouraged to enjoy the content responsibly and not to take it too seriously. If you are easily offended, this blog may not be for you. Welcome to Nephew Spot, where I'm the nephew and you're in my spot. Anyway, let's see. A couple of things have gone down besides me needing a little much needed sleep, not much needed shut eye. Um, there was an assassination attempt on Donald Trump. Okay, I'm not going to fully confirm this or anything, but it's a little hard for me to believe that someone wanted to kill him now. He's done like a lot of messed up things before today, so it's a little weird that someone wanted to get him now. Also, it's also weird that, that person managed to get on a rooftop. You want to know who made that point? Candace Owens made that point. I know we don't necessarily like her, and she's not invited to the cookout. And we're probably suspicious of her, putting raisins in potato salad, but yeah. I gotta give her her points. Gotta give her her due credit. She had a point. Let's see. What else went down? Oh no. I feel a sneeze coming out. Anyway. Excuse me. Oh, goodness gracious me. I am exceptionally sleepy. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. Gonna level with you guys. Unity, once again, is encouraged, needed amongst us folk, black folk, because everybody know how to be together except us for some strange apparent reason. And there are plenty of explained reasons and theories, but we're not going to get into that. This is not that blog, but I will tell you this. I have to point out that it's interesting and a little suspicious and a huge distraction because, Alec Baldwin just got off of the charges for the whole mishap of actually having a bullet inside a prop gun on the set of Rust. Let's see, what else went down that I think is exceptionally interesting or fascinating is the fact that a lot of people, and I do mean a lot of people, are letting Diddy off with like a lot of slack. I know it's random to bring that up, but it's actually really true. It's how I feel about it. You know what else is going on that I think is honestly kind of interesting is that we have a lot of these like random occurrences right now happening in the political field that it's pretty much put Gaza on the back burner. I think what's really interesting and fascinating right now is that the currency is attention. Maybe people won't even watch this blog. Maybe people will find this blog wonderful or hilarious. Maybe it'll be something great down the road that people will try and destroy me with later. But I have to point out that in this frame of mind, in this time period in America, attention is currency. If we can get your attention to focus on one other thing and get you to drift off others, then the battle has been won. I think it's entirely fascinating that as much as there's been so much going down, no one seems to be interested in being peaceful. Does that make sense? Like it doesn't feel like anybody wants the bad stuff to really stop. It just feels like for the most part we're going through the motions or going along with it. I don't know. What other news that I had in mind and I wanted to talk a bit about? I think it's interesting that as much as things have been going down for Joe Biden and how he handled his like arguments and debates, people are all of a sudden like really against him. I'm not necessarily for him. I think he's like me. He just needs a moment to go to sleep, get some sleep. But I don't think anyone's really trying to think of that. That's amazingly political. Also, another interesting de facto that I found out recently, Hollywood is trying to get rid of like animation. Like it's really trying to like squash that. Like animators and people who know how to draw are going to be like out of a job, which is crazy. It's crazy. What's also crazy is that theater is going to be like a new norm again. You know what else is crazy? I think it's crazy that the MCU is still alive after all this time. Gone are the days when you used to really feel excited about it all coming on. I think it's only making the millennials like myself who love comic books like really excited, except not quite this millennial. I don't know if I want to see Agatha, the witch. I don't know if I want to see. I know I might want to see Deadpool and Wolverine, but a part of me is like, no, I don't think I want to. I think it's also really interesting that like Axel Foley came out on Netflix. Which, if you again, once you really think about all of this, it's like there was a lot of opportunities to just have some imagination, put some love back into this thing that we call entertainment, but it doesn't feel like that at all. I don't know. Maybe it's me being sleepy. But see, even when I'm sleeping, my thoughts seem to really connect and I'm not really stuttering as much. And I'm pretty sure I know how to like stick it out and be right there in it for the fight. You know what I mean? Just things are just weird. Things are just weird. You know? We can't seem to get it together in picking a president. There's a whole thing like Project 2025 coming along, and they've been like, by they, I mean the Heritage Foundation has been like trying to push it as much as possible. You know what's weird about that? How is a whole organization like that just sitting out there in plain sight? That's worse than the guy who was the actual shooter. You know what I mean? Because they were also like, that's just like plain sight shooter. He was there. He was crazy. There are videos of this man yelling at random people in front of like taco stands. Also, another thing that was weird that I found really interesting, a comedian associate of mine broke up with his girlfriend after they had an argument about AI. He ended the argument with he knows more about AI than she does, and then he like blocked her on all of the socials and her phone number and never spoke to her again. I won't tell you who, and she'll probably know who it is. And yes, they're white people, but seriously though, it's like even for white people that was weird. It's just like The portal of weird is going on. Like someone must have like opened Pandora's box of weird. Just weird. 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 I don't understand. I don't understand. You want to know what else I don't understand? I don't understand how everyone like simultaneously loves and hates Tyler Perry at the same time. Like a divorce in the black. I also think it's weird that I haven't even watched the movie and I already know there's going to be like one repeating thing that the leading actor does that gets like really funny after a little while. Because I remember watching A Fall from Grace, and the one thing that made me laugh about that movie was how this one guy, like the one of the main characters, he's like a police officer. He has this habit of like handcuffing people, sitting them down somewhere, and telling them to stay there. I didn't like. I don't understand. Like, it's like a cop putting handcuffs on somebody and saying "time out," and then walking off. Like, it's the weirdest thing. Like, oh my god. Don't mind the head wrap or the cobweb up there. Anyhow. You know what's also again also a layer of weird is how a lot of racing movies are being made. I wonder if did I talk about this? There's like a lot of racing movies being made, and movies are also like strangely much more visceral. Maybe I've gotten sensitive over the years, but it's like Ford versus Ferrari was like Ferrari was is crazy. Like I seen a clip of it where a dude is like racing down the street, and then a rock cuts his tire and he like mows through like 20 people when the car rolls over. And they CGI'd the people, of course, which then, of course, didn't look funny. It just made the bodies look weird. I mean, I don't get it. Like, you want to know what else I think is weird? And I just had this thought. There's a lot of historical movies about white people being made, like Formula One and Ford versus Ferrari, or oh my god, like what's another one? Fly Me to the Moon. Even though it looks really crazy interesting, it's just like there's like the floodgates open on historical biopics or historical dramedy parodies. I don't understand that. Mm, mm, mm. I'm not flicking anybody off, by the way. It's just the finger that was able to reach my eyeball or the underneath my eyelid. You want to know what else I think is really absolutely weird? Is is how in the world is Hulu, Netflix, Amazon, all the streaming services are like outdoing television right now. I can see that's weird to me. You want to know what else I think is weird? I think it's weird that we were all looking for Diddy to get like arrested, but he ain't been put in handcuffs yet, but people know exactly where he is. I think it's also weird that when you really think about how people are like supporting and not supporting Trump, like no one talks about how he doesn't like really help anybody. You want to know what else I think is weird? I think it's weird that like social media has also been randomly flooded by a lot of people from Gaza who like use like the nonsensical move, like the nonsensical clips of stuff, like a guy falling in and out of a water hose, or a guy like tries to like stand on top of like a loose fire hydrant and then it lands up his butt and it transforms into a car commercial or transforms into one of the core people who are still enduring Gaza right now. We're like, hey, don't skip this video. Don't skip this video. You can help me. Just share it and get it out there. I think it's weird that people who are going through a hard time and genocide still have to like work hard to get our attention. That's what I think is crazy, weird. It's just weird, man. A lot of weird. All right, then. I'm going to talk to you later. Remember, even if they don't comb their hair or lay down their edges and they share the same skin tone as you, don't mean that y'all can't be friends.